Poverty, AIDS, the oppression of women. These global issues affect all of us, but they are felt most acutely in the developing nations of Africa, Asia, and South America. Sometimes these issues seem insurmountable. Can one person make a difference? We believe you can. We believe that by working together, by sharing ideas and resources, we can begin to address these global challenges and be agents of change. We are Canadian Crossroads International. Our story begins half a century ago with one man who had a dream. James Robinson was a minister and civil rights leader. He believed that people were fundamentally more similar than dissimilar, a radical idea in a racially segregated America. He envisioned one world, a world where racial and cultural differences are respected and valued.
We are your brothers. We want to be your partners in the kind of world that we have to inherit together.
A speech to United Church members in 1958 inspired a remarkable group of men and women from southern Ontario to join Robinson in Africa, just as newly independent states were emerging. Volunteers worked alongside local people to build much-needed infrastructure, roads, schools, community centers, and more.
Jim Robinson had the basic idea that the way to break down relationships and get people talking was to get them working together. But they returned from these projects with a different outlook on life, and each crossroader that came back influenced other crossroaders.
So began an extraordinary exchange of people and ideas. More than 8,000 individuals from Canada, Africa, Asia, Central America, and South America have volunteered with Canadian Crossroads International. Together we have built bridges of knowledge, friendship, and solidarity. Bridges that have inspired action and changed lives. Today, Canadian Crossroads International, or CCI, initiates international partnerships between Canadian and overseas organizations to address global poverty, women's rights, and AIDS. The exchange of skilled volunteers and staff is central to every partnership. Together, we are leveraging expertise and resources, north and south, toward a common goal. The Almond Tree Group is a result of one of these partnerships. In 2004, CCI began working with the West African AIDS Foundation, WAF, in Ghana, and the AIDS Committee of London, Ontario, ACOL, to strengthen AIDS programming in both communities. When a group of HIV-positive men and women began making jewelry under an almond tree, WAF staff and volunteers saw potential. Together, we developed an income-generating project for people living with HIV, the Almond Tree Group. CCI provided funding and volunteers to help get this micro-enterprise off the ground. It was through Almond Tree that a young woman named Esther found hope.
My name is Esther, and I am a member of Almond Tree. I live in Kokrobiti.
Esther is HIV positive. She doesn't want her face to be seen on camera.
When I was going back for my results, they just break the news that you have this problem. I was crying and I lose hope. I made my mind maybe I was just going to end my life.
Esther's future changed when Almond Tree touched her life.
The mission of the West Africa AIDS Foundation is to battle the spread of HIV and AIDS pandemic and mitigate its effect on communities by developing and implementing pragmatic intervention programs, activities, and also establishing care and support programs. So in 2006, the idea of self-sufficiency through the partnership agreement we have with CCI and ACOL gave birth to the microfinancing projects that Almond Tree is embarking on at the moment.
ACOL has brought in so many volunteers to West Africa AIDS Foundation, as CCI as well, and we work with them as partners because we learn from them as they also learn from us.
The Almond tree is a group of people living with HIV. We do tie and dye, batik, and we sew men's shirt, children clothes, and bags, and we do beads. We are no more lonely in our homes. We always come here to do our work, and we are happy.
Joanne Humphrey was one of several Crossroaders who helped Almond Tree members start their small businesses.
When we came back to London, Ontario, we were trying to figure out how can we support the almond tree from Canada. So we thought one of the best things to do was to create a link to a store in London, and that's how this dialogue with Tribal Mountain started.
Through Almond Tree, Esther and others like her can earn money and find community.
Through Almond Tree, I'm able to get money and do all this, and I'm now planning for my future.
Mali. 75% of people in Mali live on less than $2 a day. Women's lives are bound by tradition. Literacy rates are low, and economically, women are dependent on men. Yet today, a women's co-op called Coopérative de Carité de Zimbabwe, also known as Cooperatives, is helping to boost incomes and transform lives.
By teaching them to read, we saved them from a future that was just like the past. Right away, we gave them the tools to be productive, to be agents of development. And it's these women who will revolutionize and change their environment, their way of life.
In 2001, Cooperatives was a loosely organized union of women's groups producing shea butter in the rural commune of Zimbabwe. Shea butter has been used for centuries for cooking and as a natural skin moisturizer. Initially, the women were struggling with low rates of return for their labor. But today, thanks to an innovative partnership project between the Association Malienne pour la Promotion des Jeunes, AMPJ, and Canadian Crossroads International, Cooperatives is a thriving cooperative.
During the uniting phase, they didn't feel like members. But now, instead of saying, your co-op, your union, it has become our union.
Crossroads brought members of AMPJ and Cooperatives to Quebec to learn about Canadian cooperatives. Crossroaders also went to Mali to help the Women's Union get the co-op up and running. Together they developed skills as producers, as managers, and as marketers.
The revenues can sustain the women and their families by permitting them to pay for health and education costs. There are many advantages with the cooperative. Foremost is social cohesiveness.
Today, the co-op provides a living wage for hundreds of women. Their products can even be found in 10,000 villages in Montreal. And with Crossroads support, they're looking to expand even more.
It's one of our leading accomplishments today. It is the envy of the whole country and has become a national success.
Leveraging Cooperatives' experience and success, CCI has helped other groups get community economic development projects off the ground.